overview and context, we're going to dive into now what some of the best practices could be that you can employ in your CRM operations. And really that starts with the customer life cycle. And what that's really all about is being able to automate from first touch on the website all the way through the different parts of the sales process, as well as being able to tie into then the upsell process and delivering service to that customer. And so in order to facilitate this, you really need to be able to have your, what people traditionally call your front office operations, your sales, your support, your marketing, tied in with your what generally is referred to as back office, or your invoicing, your delivery of a good, and nothing links those two together better than order management. So there's a lot of information that, and a lot of best practices that you can get from having those two different processes tied together, and I'll talk about some of this in specific detail. So what do some of these specific best practices translate into, and really looking at how do you optimize your sales and marketing life cycle. So basically from that new business sale, the first touch on the website, through the sales process to then upsell and renewal, as well as being able to have a more collaborative sales management approach. So being able to get your forecast number accurate, and then also incenting your sales force to align to that goal can sometimes be pretty challenging, because you're dealing again with rep productivity issues, as well as not having visibility into what finance is doing versus what sales is doing. So at the end of the day, both those are very synergistic in terms of driving your sales operations to success. And then moving into kind of the customer support and service side, really having that complete view of a customer. A lot of CRM systems talk about the 360-degree view of the customer, but as you'll hopefully see shortly, it's somewhat of a fallacy, because you're usually missing the invoicing and the billing information that's critical to doing things like entitlement checks on service operations, right? So we'll talk about what that means and how that can really benefit your organization. And finally, to cap it all off, really analysis, the value that real-time metrics about every different facet of your business brings to you can be tremendously powerful and enabling to really driving the success of your organization. So let's drill into each of these a little bit and look at starting off with the marketing side, really, in terms of the life cycle management there. Now, if you're looking at any CRM system out there, or just general information on CRM, you've probably heard about marketing during the lead and the prospect stage. And certainly NetSuite's no exception to that. We have a lot of tools that we can bring to bear on allowing you to basically acquire customers, so in terms of getting the lead to express interest in talking to you. But we don't stop there. We all go all the way through to the closed sale. So again, this is where that order management comes into play. NetSuite's really the only CRM system out there that can let a sales rep take the order. And that adds a tremendous amount of value for marketing, because it gives you conversion all the way through to the actual sale. So for instance, your marketing dollars might look very different if you were to just spend it on getting eyeballs to your website or getting leads in. But you find that those efforts are really not the ones that convert to give you good customers. So if you look at the conversion rate, it's a very different campaign or a very different message that's resonating in order to get customers all the way through to a closed sale, which is really, so revenue-based return on investment for your marketing efforts is a big key to your success in terms of maximizing your marketing dollars. The other great piece on the marketing front, and this really stems from having that order management piece and the purchase data, is being able to tap into your existing customer base, right? Everyone knows the well-established fact out there from a marketing perspective. It's much easier to get an existing customer to buy something else from you than it is to try to go out and spend the dollars to acquire a new customer, because they already have a trusted relationship with you. They know you. They like your product already. And so why not try to offer them a complimentary things that you've brought on, or new offerings that you're offering. But when you do that, you want to make sure that it's in a targeted fashion, right? It doesn't make sense to offer a bubble bath solution maybe to a male in his 50s. Sometimes that might work out, but certainly you're more likely to get a better hit return rate on that campaign and on the upsell if that was a female in their 30 to 50 or age range. So really being able to profile the customers and understand the purchase dynamics. So what have they bought from you before, and use that information to deliver really targeted promotions and targeted messaging for upsell and cross-sell becomes hugely valuable to your marketing efforts. It's something certainly to keep in mind as a best practice out there in terms of the marketing best practices, if you will. All right, and then finally, on the kind of the marketing, and this starts to get into the sales side as well, but leveraging your website. In today's age, everyone is looking at electronic. Pretty much every one of us shops online. Picking up the phone calls to talk to someone to actually order something is less attractive. If I can get it online, you're much more likely to do that. And because of the fact that NetSuite has e-commerce built in as a component, there's nothing extra really that you need to maybe tune the look and feel of your website, but all of the product information, so any of the products and services that you're offering, all come from that same place. So you can serve it up either through direct sales or telesales, or you can serve it up on the web. So there's an e-commerce engine built in, which gives you a great new sales channel to consider because of the fact that it's built into the suite. And you don't have to maintain your product information in 2 different places. Inventory is always up to date. And again, going back to that purchase data, because you're able to mine that, you can really offer an Amazon.com-like shopping experience because there's automatic recommendations that can come up as soon as someone adds something to their cart. You're leveraging that purchase data to recommend something similar to them or something that other shoppers who bought that item would also be interested in. And that's just part of NetSuite. It's built in. You get that for free. There's also a My Account area for self-service, which can, when we get to the customer service section, that can be a tremendous value add in terms of 24/7 access to you. So then kind of moving into the sales area, looking at how you can collaborate more effectively and really looking at the forecasting piece of it. NetSuite forecasting really has 3 different modes where it's system generated, or every rep out there that you talk to, kind of has a number in the back of their pocket that they know they're going to hit for the month or the quarter. And so what we've done is given them a way to enter that into the system. So as a sales manager, you can look at, okay, what's the system saying they're going to do this month versus what have they really committed to? And you can, after a while, you get to where you can really get very accurate with your forecasting. So you get a lot of dashboard tools, and I'll show you some of these as we get into the demo portion. But you also get the benefit of forecast accuracy. And again, this goes back to the fact that actual sales data is there. So you can trend it throughout the weeks of the month or throughout the month of the quarter, whichever way that you run your business. You can look to see which reps are forecasting accurately, which ones are sandbagging, which ones tend to always overproduce or underproduce. And so you learn your reps' forecasting habits, and that gives you much more confidence in the number that you're signing up for as a manager, or if you're the CEO of the company, obviously, or if you're a public company, this is tremendously invaluable because you're reporting everything to the street. So you want to make sure you get that number right. So forecasting is a big element where, again, having that sales data, and so you can track, forecast versus quota versus actual, really gives you a lot of value there in running your sales organization. Finally, getting into kind of the quotes and order area. So this is a natural extension of the sales process, really, but a lot of CRM systems will stop short. So this is where you can really leverage the fact that NetSuite has order management to give you more visibility and to really incent reps. And that's the next area that we'll talk about, is empowering your sales reps. But with just one click, you can convert an opportunity to a quote to an order, and then once it goes over into finance, they can actually convert the order into a bill. And so you get a lot of visibility into that as a sales management team. Price levels, product catalog, all that can be effectively managed inside NetSuite as well.